We begin in the quiet atelier where a raw, unpolished boulder of Myanmar jade sits heavy and expectant on the scarred wooden table. The master craftsman runs a specialized flashlight over the rough surface, searching for the hidden vein of vibrant emerald green sleeping deep inside. He marks the precise incision line with steady hands, knowing that a single millimeter of error could destroy the stone's immense potential value. The diamond-tipped saw roars to life, water spraying to cool the friction as the blade slowly bites into the dense, stubborn stone material. A thick slab falls away, revealing a translucent heart of imperial green that catches the morning light and promises an exquisite final piece. Now we isolate the perfect section for the cabochon, drawing a circle around the area with the most intense saturation and fewest inclusions. The rough square is trimmed away from the slab, isolating the precious gem material from the surrounding rock that served as its protective shell. We move to the grinding wheel, where the coarse edges are smoothed down, transforming the jagged block into a recognizable, rounded geometric shape. Water flows constantly over the spinning wheel, washing away the milky white dust as the jadeite begins to take its preliminary oval form. The artisan constantly measures the dimensions with a digital caliper, ensuring the curvature is symmetrical and the depth is sufficient for the setting. Switching to a finer grit, the surface scratches vanish, leaving behind a matte finish that hints at the glossy brilliance soon to come. The shaping stick is applied using old-world leverage to rotate the stone against the wheel, creating a perfect dome without any flat spots. We inspect the stone under magnification, checking for internal fissures or cloudiness that might compromise the structural integrity of this rare imperial gem. Satisfied with the shape, we proceed to the polishing stage using a bamboo wheel and diamond paste to coax out the vitreous luster. Friction generates heat, so the craftsman works in short bursts, allowing the stone to cool while the surface transforms into liquid green glass. The cabochon is now complete, glowing with an internal fire ready to be paired with the precious metal that will hold it forever. Meanwhile, at the goldsmithing bench, we prepare the 18-karat gold alloy, mixing pure yellow gold with alloys to achieve the perfect warm tone. The molten metal is poured into a graphite ingot mold, cooling instantly into a solid bar that will form the shank of the ring. We run the gold bar through the rolling mill, thinning it down into a uniform sheet that is pliable enough to be shaped. The jeweler saws a strip of gold to the exact ring size, filing the ends perfectly flat so they join without a visible seam. The ends of the gold strip are brought together, tension holding them tight as we prepare the flux for the delicate soldering process. A precise flame dances over the joint, melting the tiny chip of solder until it flows like quicksilver, fusing the circle into one piece. We slide the rough band onto a steel mandrel, striking it rhythmically with a rawhide mallet to ensure a perfectly true and circular shape. The ring size is verified against the standard gauge, ensuring it meets the client's exact specifications before we begin the complex fabrication work. Now we focus on the bezel, selecting a thinner gold wire that will hug the contours of the jade cabochon with absolute precision. The artisan uses needle nose pliers to bend the wire, constantly checking the fit against the stone to ensure there are no gaps whatsoever. Once the oval is perfect, the ends are soldered shut, creating a golden collar that sits snugly around the base of the green gem. We file the bottom of this bezel cup until it is perfectly flat, preparing it to be mounted onto the ring's main shank. Before assembly, we mark the positions for the diamond accents using a burin to score the gold where the tiny stones will sit. The flex shaft drill spins rapidly, boring small pilot holes into the shoulders of the ring, creating seats for the brilliant cut diamond side stones. Small gold struts are cut and filed, designed to support the bezel cup and lift the jadeite slightly above the wearer's finger line. We arrange the components on a charcoal block using heat-resistant clay to hold the bezel and the shank in perfect alignment for soldering. The torch returns, and with a careful sweep of heat, the structural supports are fused permanently to the band and the bezel setting. The oxidized blackened metal is dropped into a warm acid bath, stripping away the fire scale and revealing the clean yellow gold underneath. We take the assembled ring to the polishing lathe using a stiff bristle brush to reach into the crevices and smooth the metal. A tray of melee diamonds is brought out, and we select stones that match perfectly in color and clarity for the pave setting. Under the microscope, the setter cuts tiny prongs directly from the existing gold of the shank, raising beads of metal to hold diamonds. Each diamond is pressed into its seat, and the gold beads are pushed over the girdle, locking the sparkling accents securely in place. A fine silicone wheel removes any sharp burrs left by the graver tool, ensuring the setting feels smooth and silky to the touch. The ring is now structurally complete and set with diamonds, awaiting the final critical step of setting the Imperial Jadeite center stone. We gently place the Imperial Jadeite cabochon into its golden nest, checking one last time that the seat is level and totally secure. The setter uses a polished steel pusher to slowly bend the gold bezel wall over the curvature of the stone, working in opposites. Great care is taken here as too much pressure could crack the jade while too little would leave the precious stone loose inside. The metal is burnished down, smoothing the bezel edge until it flows seamlessly onto the green surface, creating a continuous line of light. We inspect the rim under high magnification, ensuring the gold touches the stone at every point to prevent moisture or dirt from entering. With the setting complete, the ring returns to the polishing room for the final finish, protecting the jade with a special masking tape. A soft cotton buff loaded with red rouge spins, rapidly bringing the yellow gold to a high mirror shine that reflects the room. The craftsman is meticulous, avoiding the prongs of the small diamonds to keep them crisp while ensuring the shank is smooth and flawless. We remove the protective tape, revealing the stunning contrast between the highly polished gold, the sparkling white diamonds, and the glowing green jade. The ring is suspended in an ultrasonic bath where high-frequency sound waves gently shake loose any remaining polishing compound from behind the diamonds. A blast of high-pressure steam blows away the water, leaving the piece dry, spotless, and ready for a rigorous quality control inspection process. The master jeweler picks up the ring with gloved hands, turning it slowly under a dedicated daylight spectrum lamp to check for color. He verifies the symmetry of the setting, ensuring the oval cabochon aligns perfectly with the center line of the diamond-accented ring shank. We check the inside of the band, ensuring the hallmark stamps indicating metal purity and the maker's mark are crisp and clearly legible. The prongs holding the side diamonds are tested with a silk cloth. If the fabric snags, the prong is rough and needs work. Measurement checks confirm the final finger size has not altered during the polishing process, adhering strictly to the client's original order requirement details. The jadeite surface is examined for any accidental scratches incurred during setting, though the stone's hardness makes this unlikely with our skilled craftsmen. We verify the weight of the finished piece, recording the gram weight of the gold and the carat weight of the gems used. Every angle is scrutinized to ensure the reflection of light travels uninterrupted across the gold surfaces, proving the polish is of master quality. Satisfied with the technical execution, the master nods, passing the ring to the packaging station where the final presentation experience is carefully prepared. We move to the leather station where a hide of full-grain emerald goat leather is unrolled across the cutting mat for careful inspection. The artisan places a steel template onto the skin, avoiding natural blemishes, and traces the shape with a silver marking pen for visibility. Using a razor-sharp skiving knife, we thin the edges of the leather down to paper thickness, ensuring corners fold without any bulky overlap. The structural core of the box is assembled from kiln-dried mahogany, sanded perfectly smooth to provide a rigid and lasting home for the ring. We apply a thin, even layer of contact cement to both the wooden frame and the leather, waiting for it to become tacky. The leather is stretched taut over the wood, smoothed down with a bone folder to eliminate air bubbles and ensure total surface adhesion. At the corners, the thinned leather is tucked and pleated with surgical precision, creating sharp, clean angles that define the box's modern silhouette. For the interior, we select a cream-colored micro suede that feels soft against the skin and will provide a neutral background for the jade. The lining material is cut to size, accounting for the inner walls and the cushioned platform that will hold the ring in place. We fabricate the central insert using high-density foam, cutting a precise slit that will grip the ring shank firmly but gently during transport. The foam is wrapped in the cream suede, the fabric pulled tight and glued on the underside to create a seamless plush display cushion. We install the lining into the box shell, pressing it into the corners to ensure there are no wrinkles or loose fabric areas. The brass hinge mechanism is concealed beneath the leatherwork, tested repeatedly to ensure the lid opens smoothly and stays open at 90 degrees. A heated brass die engraved with the studio's emblem is pressed into the inner lid, leaving a subtle recessed gold foil logo impression. We use a lint roller and a soft brush to remove any dust particles from the suede, ensuring the interior is absolutely pristine. The exterior leather is conditioned with a natural wax balm, deepening the emerald color and adding a protective layer against moisture and handling. The finished jadeite ring is brought over from the quality control station, sparkling under the lights, ready to meet its custom-made presentation case. We gently slide the ring into the velvet slot, the green stone contrasting beautifully against the cream fabric, sitting proud and perfectly upright. The lid is lowered, closing with a satisfying solid snap that signifies the completion of the physical manufacturing process for this commissioned piece. The leather box is placed inside a heavy stock textured outer carton designed to protect the leather from scuffs during the final delivery phase. We compile the gemological reports, certifying the jadeite is type A untreated and natural, originating directly from the famed mines of Old Burma. The certificate of authenticity is signed by the master craftsman in fresh ink, verifying the gold purity and the bespoke nature of work. We fold the documents into a heavy envelope, sealing the flap with hot emerald wax, impressed with the studio's distinct signet ring crest. A polishing cloth woven from the finest microfiber is tucked into a side pocket, allowing the client to maintain the ring's brilliance daily. The outer carton is wrapped in heavy, textured paper, the corners folded with military precision to ensure clean lines and a crisp silhouette. We select a wide satin ribbon in a deep forest green, measuring the length against the box to ensure the bow is proportional. The ribbon is tied swiftly but carefully, the knot pulled tight before the loops are fluffed to create a perfect symmetrical presentation bow. Scissors snip the ribbon ends at an angle, preventing fraying and adding a sharp, tailored finish to the exterior of the gift wrapping. The wrapped box is lowered into a rigid shopping carrier, the handle standing upright, ready for the journey to its new owner's hand. We spritz a fine mist of the house fragrance onto the tissue paper, adding a sensory layer of sandalwood to the unboxing experience. The completed package sits on the dispatch table, a solitary object of beauty that represents weeks of labor and millions of years of geology. The craftsman begins the evening ritual of cleaning the bench, sweeping gold dust into the collection tray for future refining and recycling processes. Drills or holstered files are returned to their racks, and the polishing motor winds down, bringing a sudden silence to the busy room. We wipe down the work surface with a cloth, removing the oils and graphite, resetting the stage for tomorrow's new creative challenges ahead. The master takes one last look around the atelier, ensuring every tool is accounted for and every precious stone is locked in the safe. The lights are dimmed, casting long shadows across the wooden benches that have supported the creation of heirlooms for over 3 different generations. Craftsmanship is not just about the final object, but the patience and discipline required to coax beauty from the earth's most stubborn materials. This Imperial Jadeite ring is no longer just a stone and metal. It is a story of geology, artistry, and human dedication combined. We close the heavy atelier door, leaving the quiet room to rest until the sun rises and the saws begin to sing again. In a world of mass production, this single ring stands as a testament to the enduring power of slow, deliberate, and masterful handcraft. The commission includes a matching suite, so we return to the raw boulder to locate a pair of identical jade sections for earrings. Finding 2 pieces with the exact same saturation and grain structure is exponentially harder than locating a single solitary stone for a ring. We identify a vein running parallel to the first cut, hoping the color consistency extends deep enough to provide 2 uniform thick slices. The diamond saw descends again, slicing through the rock to create a book-matched pair where the internal crystal patterns mirror each other perfectly. We place the 2 resulting slabs side by side on the light box, analyzing the green intensity to ensure they are true twins. Any deviation in tone would be disastrous, as the human eye is incredibly adept at spotting asymmetry when stones are worn near the face. Satisfied with the match, we trace 2 pear shapes onto the slabs, maximizing the material yield while avoiding a small dark black inclusion. The trim saw isolates the preforms, and we return to the grinding wheel to shape both stones simultaneously to maintain perfect proportional harmony. The artisan alternates between the left and right stone, removing material in equal increments to ensure the silhouette and dome height are identical. Digital calipers measure the length, width, and depth, requiring a tolerance of less than 0.1 millimeters for this high jewelry earring set. We refine the pear shape, ensuring the tapered point is sharp and the rounded bottom is full, creating a graceful, elegant droplet form. Polishing begins again, this time with even more caution, as the smaller stones retain heat faster and are much harder to grip securely. The bamboo wheel spins, turning the matte surface into a wet-looking gloss that allows light to penetrate deep into the stone's gelatinous body. We place the finished cabochons on the scale to verify they are weight matched, ensuring the earrings will hang evenly without pulling the earlobe. With the stones ready, we move to the design of the metalwork, sketching a delicate articulation system that allows the gems to sway. We select 18-karat yellow gold wire, drawing it through a draw plate to harden the metal and reduce the diameter to a fine gauge. The wire is formed into 2 identical baskets, shaped to cradle the pear-cut jade while allowing maximum light to enter from the back. We solder tiny prongs onto the basket frames using a microscopic flame to ensure the heat does not melt the delicate wire filigree. The top components, which will hold the ear posts, are fabricated separately, featuring a small bezel-set diamond to echo the design of the ring. We drill the connecting holes for the jump rings, testing the articulation to ensure the movement is fluid and not stiff or jerky. We cut the jump rings from a tight gold coil, sawing them open to link the diamond stud top to the jade basket. Using 2 pairs of pliers, we twist the rings open sideways, careful not to distort the circle, and thread the components together gently. The rings are closed and soldered shut with a pinpoint flame, permanently fusing the joint so the heavy jade drop never falls off. We attach the ear post to the back of the diamond studs, positioning them centrally to ensure the earring sits flat on the ear. High-tension friction backs are selected to provide security testing, the grip strength to confirm they will not slide off during daily casual wear. The metal assembly goes through the standard sanding and pre-polishing stages, cleaning up the solder seams around the delicate jump ring connection points. We mount the earring frames in the engraver's block, applying a shellac adhesive to hold them rigid while we set the small diamonds. The burin carves away excess metal, brightening the area around the diamonds, creating a starburst effect that visually enlarges the small white stones. Now comes the high-stakes moment of setting the matching jadeite pairs, requiring absolute synchronization in pressure to avoid cracking either of the twins. We place the first jade into its basket, gently folding the prongs over the tip and the rounded bottom to lock it in. The second stone follows, and we constantly compare it to the first, ensuring the prongs are bent to the exact same length visually. If one prong is slightly longer, the symmetry is broken, so we file the tips down until both earrings look like mirror images. We check the articulation again, holding the post and shaking the earring to verify the jade drop swings freely with the wearer's movement. The final polish is applied using a smaller muslin wheel to buff the back of the baskets without catching the articulated jump rings. We suspend the earrings in the ultrasonic cleaner, watching the solution vibrate dirt out of the hinges to ensure completely smooth, silent motion. Steam cleaning blasts away the residue, and we hang the pair on a stand to inspect the balance and the center of gravity. A perfectly balanced earring hangs straight down without twisting, ensuring the broad face of the jadeite always faces forward towards the viewer's eye. We verify the matched color one last time under neutral light, confirming that the setting process hasn't altered the perception of the hues. The suite is now unified, the ring and earrings sharing the same DNA of design gold alloy and rare Imperial Jadeite raw material. We prepare a secondary specialized insert for the leather box, cutting a new foam layout to accommodate the ring and earrings together securely. The final element of this commission is the pendant, requiring a larger, more prominent jadeite slice to anchor the entire high jewelry collection. We sketch a design that incorporates a hidden bail, allowing the stone to float on the chain without visible heavy mechanical connection points. The goldsmith saws a thick sheet of 18-karat gold, piercing out an intricate scrolling pattern that will serve as the pendant's decorative gallery. This lattice work is critical, reducing the metal weight while allowing the skin to breathe behind the large, heavy Imperial Jadeite center stone. We carefully file the interior curves of the scrollwork, using needle files to ensure every angle is smooth and catches the light beautifully. The bezel wall is soldered to this decorative backplate, creating a sturdy cup that is both structurally sound and visually stunning from behind. For the chain, we select a heavy wheat link that is robust enough to support the pendant, yet fluid enough to drape comfortably. We fabricate a custom clasp mechanism, rejecting factory-made findings in favor of a handmade safety lock that integrates seamlessly into the chain design. A steel spring is coiled and inserted into the box clasp, providing the tension needed for a reassuring click when the necklace fastens. We solder the chain ends to the clasp using a heat sink to protect the internal steel spring from losing its temper hardness. The pendant bail is polished separately, using a string dipped in compound to buff the inside of the tube where the chain passes. We thread the finished chain through the pendant, checking that it slides effortlessly and does not flip the stone over during rapid movement. Now the large jadeite cabochon is set, the thick gold walls pushed over the stone with significant force to ensure a permanent hold. The setter uses a pneumatic hammer handpiece, the rapid impacts moving the metal over the gem slowly and safely without any slipping accidents. We use a graver to brighten the very edge of the bezel, creating a mirror-like rim that frames the green stone in light. The full parure is now complete, the ring, earrings, and necklace sitting together on the bench, united by their color and craftsmanship quality. We arrange the three pieces on a velvet bust to verify the color match one final time across the different stone sizes used. The variation is minimal, a testament to the fact that all stones were cut from the same original rough boulder of Myanmar jade. Detailed macro photographs are taken for the studio archives, documenting the unique inclusions and the specific hallmarks for insurance and provenance record keeping. The pieces are gently wiped with a microfiber cloth to remove fingerprints, preparing them for the final placement into the custom travel case. We construct a larger travel trunk designed to house the entire parure in a single, secure, and moisture-controlled environment for long-term storage. The interior layout is mapped out precisely, ensuring the gold necklace chain rests in a curved channel that prevents kinking or tangling. We carve distinct recesses for the earrings and rings, spacing them far enough apart so the gold components never scratch against each other. A soft cream-colored suede flap is sewn into the lid, designed to fold down and provide a protective buffer over the jadeite gems. The master carefully positions the necklace, first smoothing the wheat chain into its groove and centering the pendant so it faces directly upwards. Next, the earrings are snapped into their holders, the articulated jade drops settling perfectly into the custom-cut foam depressions lined with soft silk. Finally, the ring is placed in the center, acting as the crown jewel of the collection, anchoring the visual balance of the set. We verify that the lid closes without exerting pressure on the stones, checking the clearance with a small piece of soft molding clay. The case is locked with a small gold key, the mechanism clicking shut to seal the precious cargo away from the outside world. This presentation trunk is slipped into a water-resistant canvas cover, adding a layer of durability for the journey from the studio to client. We bundle the comprehensive gemological reports and the schematic design sketches into a leather portfolio, offering the client the full production history file. Security protocols are initiated as the value of the shipment requires an armored transport service and dual signature verification upon the final receipt. The package is sealed with tamper-evident tape, ensuring the contents remain strictly confidential and untouched until they reach the client's private viewing room. With the dispatch complete, the studio atmosphere shifts from the intensity of production to a quiet moment of reflection on the work done. Countless hours of sawing, filing, setting, and polishing have transformed raw geological elements into objects of profound cultural significance and extreme financial value. The craftsman wipes down the leather cutting mat, removing the scraps of emerald hide and returning the specialized knives to their magnetic strip. We filter the ultrasonic cleaning solution, recovering the microscopic gold particles that settled at the bottom to be melted down and reused later. The work is physically demanding, requiring eyes that can see the microscopic and hands that possess the strength of a blacksmith, yet delicacy. Jadeite is stubborn and unforgiving, but the result of the struggle is a surface that looks like frozen water, appearing eternal and serene. As the day ends, the tools are silent, but the legacy of the craft continues in the hands of those who wear it. We reflect on the journey, realizing that we do not truly own these stones, but merely shape them for the generations that will follow. The gold will eventually scratch and need polishing, but the jade itself remains unchanging, a permanent witness to the lives of its wearers. In the quiet of the studio, the heavy smell of beeswax and polishing rouge lingers in the air, a scent of honest labor. The master craftsman removes his apron, revealing the simple clothes beneath, stepping out of the role of creator and back into ordinary life. But his hands remain stained with the faint gray of polishing dust, a badge of honor that soap and water cannot easily erase. We turn off the main breaker, silencing the hum of the ventilation system, allowing the room to settle into a deep, heavy silence. The scarred wooden benches stand empty, their surfaces marked by thousands of slips, cuts, and burns, recording the history of every piece made. Tomorrow, a new rough boulder will arrive, perhaps lavender or ice white, presenting a completely new set of challenges and hidden optical mysteries. We will begin the process again, measuring, cutting, and grinding, repeating the ancient rhythm that has defined jewelry making for thousands of years. There is no shortcut to perfection in this trade, only the slow accumulation of skill and the patience to listen to the stone. Technology aids us with lasers and microscopes, but the final judgment always rests with the human eye and the sensitivity of the hand. The imperial green color is not just a chemical composition of chromium, it is a cultural symbol of virtue, purity, and enduring wisdom. To wear such a piece is to carry a fragment of the Earth's history, refined by human hands, into a wearable work of art. The studio door locks with a heavy click, securing the secrets of the trade until the morning light brings the workshop back to life. Outside, the city moves at a frantic pace, unaware of the slow, deliberate timescale that governs the creation of high jewelry inside. We walk away knowing that somewhere a client is opening the box, the green light of the jade reflecting in their astonished eyes. That moment of connection between the maker, the object, and the wearer is the ultimate reward for the dust, the noise, and heat. This is not just manufacturing, it is the preservation of a dying art form, keeping the flame of true craftsmanship alive and burning. The jadeite ring is finished, but its life has only just begun, ready to travel through time long after we are all gone. And so the cycle completes, leaving only the beauty of the object to speak for the silent, dedicated labor of the master craftsman.